First topic on the agenda this evening, 5.01, is Summer 2016 Learning Opportunities. Dr. Scott Ebrecht, Director of Alternative Education Assessment, will be giving a report for us tonight.
Thank you, President Byrd, members of the board, as well as Dr. Kellogg. It is wonderful to be able to come up and already talk about the summer 2016. And we want to talk about the different opportunities we're going to provide students, not only just intervention, if you will, but also what we're going to do to enhance students' education, opportunities for course advancement, and also for credit recovery. So we'll go through this presentation here. And this is just, again, an overview. And there is I'm trying to get this thing to work here. There we go. Okay. There we go. Thank you. We're going to talk about technology. Right there's an example, okay, of technology. So we're going to give it this overview, going through the different opportunities throughout the summer of 2016. You can see the different grade levels. As we go through this PowerPoint, know that I put a lot of information on every slide, and it was really for the general public so that if they want to consume this information, it's right there for them. So please know that I'm very cognizant about PowerPoints and making sure that you only have 3 levels deep, etc. But for this, I wanted to make sure we had it not in specific notes, okay? So these are the different programs that you can see there. We go from all the way from kindergarten all the way through grade 12. So one of the hallmarks of our summer program and what continues to be a part of our programming is technology integration, and the same thing will happen this summer. And we feel that the summer is an excellent opportunity to pilot things. We can do it on a smaller scale. At the same time, we can save the district a lot of money, because if we pilot it in the summer and we know it's good for these kids, then why not do it for the rest of the school year? And that's something that we've turned to doing each summer. Last year, we were blessed to be able to go one-to-one with the Google Chromebooks due to the implementation of the technology, the teaching and learning roadmap. And this summer is one example that we will be one-to-one again, but one of the things that we're looking to do this summer, and this is in grades K through 12, is go one-to-one, but also level the playing field for all kids to have access that participate in these programs throughout the summer with the internet at home. And you can say, well, if we're giving devices to kids, how are they going to get the internet if they don't have Wi-Fi? We're entering into, we're looking to go into a pilot with a company who will be able to provide that for us. And we're kind of working through that right now. But I'm just kind of giving you a glimpse of what we're hoping to do this summer. It'll be the first time in our school district we'll level the playing field for all kids with technology access at home. So we'll have the device, we'll have the Wi-Fi capability, and we'll see what that might look like even during the school year. So I started out with that, but that's one of the things that I'm most excited about this summer, to level the playing field and give access to all students that may not have that at home. We use a blended approach. We use technology. We use digital content throughout the K through 12 program. This is an example of the different content. Everyone's been familiar with STAR. We've used STAR for several years in this district. But at the same time, we use Apex. That's typically in grades 9 through 12. And then 2.5 years ago, we started to pilot Lexia, Dreambox, and 10 Marks. We piloted another digital content. I'm not going to mention the name because we're not using that. But out of the pilot, those are the ones that continue to be a hallmark of our programming and help support teachers in the classroom with kids. So those are those pieces. Lexia is for reading. Dreambox and 10 Marks are both math-oriented programs. So the Ohio graduation test is while it's going away, it's sunsetting, if you will. The Ohio State test is starting to come to fruition for those kids in cohort 2018 and beyond. So just recently, just actually in the last few weeks, the state of Ohio announced that the Ohio State test will be administered also this summer, along with the Ohio graduation test. So in order to get kids prepared for that, the kids that may not have passed those assessments, this is an opportunity to not only give them the test, but also do 7 days of intense intervention with them that's solely focused on the test, when I say focused on the test, I'm talking about focused on the content, okay? To get them over the hump so that they can pass that test and earn their high school diploma. Of course, the indicators of success is one, how many are going to pass the test and then subsequently graduate. High school, summer school, again, for course credit advancement as well as credit recovery. There are students that, for many reasons, don't want to have to take a class in the summer. One of those examples historically has been physical education. They want to smell good the next period, for example. So, but with the approval of the athletic competition, the athletic Ohio High School Athletic Association and what we're doing to waive PE, those numbers have actually dwindled quite a bit. So we're actually decreased that opportunity, but yet we're still providing it for our kids. You can see that we focus across English language arts, math, science, social studies, PE 1 and 2, as well as health. PE 1 and 2 is the only one that we don't utilize digital content with. We want kids up and running around and being active. And the other courses are all taught either through Schoology or through Apex. But again, we believe in relationships with kids, face-to-face interaction. So when we talk about digital content, know that we are never looking to replace a teacher face-to-face, because we want those kids in the classroom with teachers so that as questions come about, they can instantly talk to the teacher. And also, we feel that the power of that relationship with the teacher. Of course, credits are earned, credits are recovered, as well as it affects our graduation rate. Middle school intervention, this is targeted for grades 6 through 8, focuses on English language arts and mathematics, of course, core content areas. If a kid can't read, they can't do well across all content areas. Mathematics, we still continue to try to build that up so our kids are ready for college and careers, but also that Algebra 1. We want to get kids over that Algebra 1 hump, and that's something that we're continuing to strive for through middle school intervention to close those academic gaps, and also all is to prevent summer regression. We do track, I believe, without data, you're just another person with opinion, so we do track constantly data. As we're working through this, we have pre-assessments, we have post-assessments, and also we have a 3-year longitudinal study that we're conducting, and I'll get to more of that here in the elementary phase. Elementary Summer Splash, this is our enhancement opportunities for kids for grades 2 through 8. We're not only looking to intervene, we're also looking to provide opportunities to enrich. Throughout the summer, within our community, there's wonderful opportunities at the community center, through our parks and recreation, through other private individuals, through private companies, but we provide opportunities in the summer for students, and you can see a list of what some of those are. Secondary Summer Splash, this is brand new this year. It's a 4-day coding workshop. We're looking to, again, integrate technology, get some computer science, and this is something that I think is going to take off quite handedly over here this summer. It's focused on grades 6 through 12. And then again, looking to pique students' interest and also active participation by our students. Elementary Summer Intervention. So over the last 3 years, we've continued to evolve this program. For many years, we only offered summer intervention for elementary students. It continues to be by invitation only, as is the middle school intervention program. But for many years, we only had, it started in grade 1. So with students currently in grade 1, we were able to provide intervention for those kids that were most at risk. We never serviced our kindergartners. We were able, over the last couple years, last year was our first year, and we'll continue with that, focusing getting kindergartners who are at risk involved in our programming. So also, I will say that transportation for all grades K through 12, we've expanded that over the last 3 years as well. So again, we're looking at access. So in the past, we didn't transport all students. Our high school students, for example, we weren't transporting a few years back. We believe that all students, regardless of whether they have a car or whether they can get a ride from somebody, we felt it was best for our district to provide that. So we provide busing for grades K through 12 to elementary, middle school, and high school. Again, it's about access. So, as I mentioned about the 3-year longitudinal study, so over the last 3 years, we've been taking, and we did a random sample of students, and have been tracking them each quarter, mostly focused on star reading. And what's interesting, over the 3 years, with that random sample group, the number of students that we've been tracking has continued to decrease. And the reason why it's continued to decrease is we've had transiency among that population of students, and they've moved out of the district, and thus we can't continue. So what we're going to have to do is go back and start over again, and I don't know that we'll even do a random sample. We may just do all the students at this point, because we want to be able to derive and make decisions based on the data that we are affecting positive change on these students with summer intervention. So just keep that in mind, that we are studying this and we're continuing to do the longitudinal studies, but sometimes you do have to take a step back and start over in your sample group when your N decreases as it has. Almost kindergarten. Now this program here, when I talk about summer intervention in kindergarten, that's for students that are presently in kindergarten this school year. Okay, so when we do summer intervention, I'm talking about kindergartners this year. Almost kindergartner are for students that may not have had a preschool experience, that are going to be entering into kindergarten. So we believe in getting those students in as well. And it helps to certainly reduce anxiety among the students, and it gives them an opportunity to practice school, if you will, and there is very much an educational component to that. And by the way, it's not just for the kids that it reduces anxiety, it's very much for the parents as well, okay? And from a budgetary standpoint, as we continue to be fiscally responsible, we look to reduce expenditures, and we have done that from 3 years ago. We've significantly reduced the budget for this, but yet have continued to increase access. We've done that through increasing enrollment size a little bit, making sure that our staffing levels are proportional to our students, and also increasing slightly some of the fees that we have. And so, for example, if a student is taking this for course advancement, there's a certain dollar figure there, which is $400 a credit, okay? In the past, that hasn't always been the case, but for students that are looking, again, we provide students with the course during the school year. If they want to accelerate their education, there's a cost to that during the summer, okay? So with that, I'll entertain any questions that you have.
I have a question. Very intrigued by the almost kindergarten. I think that's a great idea. How will you notify parents in the district that don't have children already in the district?
We look to publish, well, hopefully, for example, this is one way, through this board meeting is one way, but what we always do is we put up flyers, for example, in the supermarkets. We hope to always get out, for example, typically, in the local newspaper, there's an article about summer learning opportunities. We get the word out through that way. We oftentimes will partner and convey this message to local churches. Okay.
Do you have someone at the, oh my gosh, Parent Council Summer Activities Expo? Do you ever have anyone there? Because they have stuff for the camps. I'm just wondering if that's another way to get the word out.
Excellent idea. We've not done that in the past, but I could see that being beneficial.
Okay, great. Nice job, Scott.
Thank you.
Along that same line, do we send information out through the early care and education centers, the various private daycare, early education sites as well?
Yes. And then also, and we do that as well as, for example, on the internet right now on our website. And granted, I know that, as we all know, you have to do multiple means of communication. And just because it's on our district website doesn't mean someone's going to access it. But, for example, if you were to go to our district website, all you have to put in is summer school, and will pop up the summer school website. And even the dates and times that we were putting forth to you tonight is out there already.
Yeah, I think, any of the private newsletters, clubs, groups, and so forth would be great, and you're always very good at that, in addition to our own publication and the hordes of people who watch us on TV. Yeah, it's always good stuff. So when you were doing your longitudinal study, are you also doing a look at a random sample of kids who have not participated in the program?
Yeah, actually, and I did bring that along just in case, Nancy, you want to see it at some point. But
I do.
unfortunately, it's getting quite tedious in terms of the numbers, as you can see, okay? But yes, actually, what we did was, part of that was we were able to look at kids who were invited to summer intervention but declined. And they declined 2 years in a row, compared to the kids that were invited 2 years and they attended both years. So those are the two
Yeah.
areas that we're looking at. So kids that we invited that were in the at-risk population but chose not to attend, and how is their performance compared to the kids that have attended and essentially had, 2.5 years of continuous education without that summer break.
Your comment about the mobility was really interesting, and that raised, a flag in my mind about other ways that we can look at this data as we look at success indicators and stressors, so that we can begin to backtrack from that data before the point that the child is invited to take part, so that we can begin to look at certain stress components that may tend to lead to academic difficulties. Good stuff, Scott. I just really am impressed with what you're doing, and I am particularly excited about hearing how the access piece goes with the one-on-one and the Wi-Fi at home. I am really, really interested in seeing how that plays out.
So am I.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's great.
I've been wanting to do that for several years now, but we're at the point now with the teaching and learning roadmap, with our access, with the Chromebooks, as well as the cost structure. I think we're there it's right to try it out right now.
Good stuff. Thanks.
I've really appreciated this presentation and just learning more about this from my own perspective. Much to my own children's chagrin, I'm pretty much a believer in year-round learning. And so anything that we can do to help facilitate that, to encourage participation in that, is just great. And so back to Nancy's, so I just may have missed it, so we do have some data and indicators of a couple of years in a row we've invited and didn't participate, a couple of years in a row invited, did participate, and we have some data and some information that we're tracking there, right?
Correct.
Okay, I'm very interested in that, and I love the idea of backing the train up several steps. That's my word, not your word. Backing the train up several steps to see, boy, can we catch them before we have to intervention them, to make up a sentence there. The last piece of that is, and I probably should know this. When a student, and I guess let me focus middle high, when a student takes advantage of a particular course, you had a number of options up there. There was some language arts, there was some math, and so on. And whether intervention or acceleration, what is the duration of those courses? Is that all summer long? I'm just sorry, I'm drawing a blank on that.
Okay, the intervention programs run 4 weeks. The high school summer school runs for 6 weeks. So each semester is 3 weeks in duration. And one of the things that we look to do is to extend the school year. And one of the tricks we've tried to do is you try to prevent summer regression.
Sure,
okay?
absolutely.
So the way we've built the program, and I believe that all kids need a vacation, okay, as well as our teachers, by the way. So what we do is we go 2.5 weeks. Essentially, it's like 2.5 weeks after when the school's over, they're 2.5 weeks off, 2 weeks on, and then we take the week of July 4th off. A lot of people are out traveling.
Sure.
Absenteeism.
Great, yeah.
When we were tracking data, that was those days around July 4th, we had kids missing. So we decided to take that week
Sure,
off.
yeah.
And we're 2 weeks on, 2.5 weeks off, and then school starts. So we've chunked it in basically the middle of the summer, but yet there's opportunities for kids to have that mental break and be able to play.
Yeah, thank you.
Not that they don't play educationally,
Sure.
in our programming, but there you go. Then summer school is that same type of the schedule, but it's 3 weeks before that week of July 4th, and then 3 weeks after.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Excellent. Any further questions or issues with the report? If not, Dr. Ebrick, thank you very much. Nicely done.
Thank you.